My dad flew a Chinook helicopter in the South Vietnamese Air Force. He had been waiting for orders, but his captain had, basically just left. So he and some other pilots picked out the best Chinooks and took off. He said it was the Wild West at this point. Just you and your horse, and you just do what you had to do to survive and take care of your family. He had given my mom a heads up that if she heard a Chinook coming, to get ready. I was 6.5 years old. I can still hear the rumbling, a very familiar rumbling of a Chinook. When you hear the Chinook coming, you know it's coming. I knew my dad was coming. In Saigon during my childhood, it was like living in the middle of busy LA. So there's really not a big area to land the Chinook. So he came in and landed in a playfield, caused a lot of wind, caused a lot of commotion. My mom grabbed my little sister, who was about 6 months at that time, and my little brother, who was about 3 or 4 years old, and myself. We quickly ran into the Chinook and we all flew off, out into the Pacific Ocean. My dad was afraid of not having enough fuel, afraid of a lot of things. He was just flying blind. Then he just saw a ship out there.
In the middle of the day, after we'd taken those first helicopters aboard, this huge Chinook came out and tried to land on the ship. The thing almost crashed aboard. There's no way he could land on the Kirk without impacting the ship. He would have killed everybody on this helicopter plus my crew. We thought that the helicopter would just fly away. But as the ship was moving forward, probably 4 or 5 knots, the pilot communicated that he was running low on fuel. He opened up the port side of the helicopter and hovered across the stern of the Kirk. Then, all of a sudden, here comes a human.
One by one, we jump out. I jumped out, my brother jumped out. My mom was holding my sister, obviously very scared. And she just, trustingly, just with one hand, with her right hand, holding on with her left to brace herself, just dropped my baby sister.
One fella is standing there, and he said he looked up and saw this big bundle of stuff come flying out, and it was a baby. It was the 1-year-old baby. And then the mother jumped out, and he caught her too. Then the pilot flew out on our starboard side. He hovered with his wheels in and out of the water. He hovered there for like 10 minutes. We couldn't figure out what he was doing. It turned out he was taking his flight suit off. Here's a man flying a twin-rotor helicopter by himself, and at the same time, he's taking off a flight suit. How you do it? I've talked to helicopter pilots, and they can't figure out how he did that. Finally, he made the helicopter roll to the right as he stepped out the door on the left.
Just thunderous loud noise. The shrapnel is just blowing up, and suddenly, silence. And he pops up, and he's alive.
And he swam away. The helicopter was only about 20 feet from him when he hit the water. It was amazing. We went out and picked him up. He was none the worse for wear. He was a little bit wet. Only one unfortunate thing is he had some small bars of gold, which was all his worldly possessions that were in his shirt pocket, and they sank. So he lost everything. He didn't own a thing but his underwear when he finally came aboard the Kirk. He was a tremendous pilot. The guy was just so cool and calm. That day we took a total of 17 helicopters. We ended up with 157 people aboard our ship.
We were happy. My mom was just, wow. Symbolically, it was like the first step onto not American soil, but American freedom.